good evening. Glad to have you with us here. CW 13, the Toledo Sports Network. Northern Buckeye Conference. It is the Lake Flyers hosting Eastwood. We are on the very first drive. We had a bit of a power surge here, but we're up and running. This is the very first drive of the football game. Reddick back to throw on second down and incomplete. And the home side wants a flag. It doesn't look like they're going to get it. Let's recap for you a little bit what's going on here. Lake actually got in a third down situation. Reddick got a first down and 11-yard run. They had a 3rd and 10 that Reddick completed a 23-yard pass to DeLafter, the tight end, for a first down. They got another first down on the ground. They got to the 27-yard line. They had a delay of game penalty, which sent them back to the 32, and now we're sitting at 3rd and 15 on the very first drive of the football game. Reddick out of the shotgun and back to throw. Looking left. Now he had to get rid of it. He throws, and it's complete. Going to be short of the first down. Connor Bowen on the reception inside the 20-yard line to the 18.
Yeah, nice throw that time from Reddick, a little short of his target. So far, just 2 completions on the night in 6 attempts. A lot of contact on that one over the middle.
Looks like the Flyers are going to go for it. On the very first drive of the game, it's 4th and a yard from the 18-yard line of Eastwood. Reddick out of the gun. Will roll the right. Looks like he's going to run. He's got the first down. Inside the 15, inside the 10, and down to near the 8-yard line. That's where Reddick could be so dangerous because he can do a lot of things when he gets out of the pocket.
Well, 2 carries already, 21 yards. Norm leading the NBC in passing. This one, as we talked about, shaped up to be what people thought it was going to be in terms of come to these 2 teams for sole possession of first place in the NBC.
First and goal at the 8-yard line. Eastwood is primarily a ground rushing offense, and getting the lead is a big deal. Fumble, but it's picked right up by Brandon Short, trying to make something out of a busted play. Looks like he lost a yard, but he prevented what really could have been tragedy on this drive.
Absolutely. You know, and getting a chance to talk to Coach Rutherford for Eastwood before the game, one of the things he talked about was Lake's ability to put up a lot of points and put up a lot of points quick. And you see so far on this drive, they've done a pretty good job of trying to take away the big play.
And if you're Eastwood, you just want to keep them out of the end zone.
Exactly.
You will give them 3 at this point. Second and goal at the 9. Reddick on the roll. Got time. Now he steps in. Now he's going to take off. Tried to hurdle a defender. Got inside the 5 and down close to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, so far tonight, Jared doing more damage with his legs. Once again, good coverage. Has to pull the bell back down and go up the middle.
And it's a matter of what the defense is going to give you. And one thing that we've seen about Jared Reddick before is his decision-making, and it's very good. Very first drive of the football game. We're scoreless, 7:46 to go. First quarter. Toledo Sports Network and CW 13. 3rd and goal from the 3. Handoff. Short. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown.
Well, he's been doing a lot of damage inside the red zone this year. Norm leading the NBC with 13 touchdowns, and right there they just give it to their guy. He's been doing that all season long.
A 13-play, 71-yard drive. If you were going to draw up a drive to start the game, this is exactly what you wanted to draw up.
Well, and you mentioned Reddick's decision-making. Give him credit. A couple of drives or a couple of plays on that drive. Didn't have the pass, the look downfield that he wanted, and he was able to make something happen with his legs.
All right, Adam Duncan for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 7:34 to go here in the first quarter. The Flyers strike first. It's Lake 7 and Eastwood nothing. We'll be back on the Toledo Sports Network in CW 13.
On the job for you for over 100 years. You need a career. You need a future. Local 8 can help you make it happen. Join the men and women who build our community. Become a part of a proud tradition. Build your career. Build your future with the brothers and sisters of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 8. We're on the job for you.
We're on the job for you. We're the local IBEW.
Back we are in the Toledo Sports Network, CW 13. Norm Weber, Mike Bauman for first place in the Northern Buckeye Conference, and we'll talk more about that as we go along. It could be really for the Northern Buckeye Conference title, although Genoa may have something to say about it next week when they play Lake. The Flyers are kicking this off, and they're going to squib it down the middle of the field, and it looks like the Eagles are just going to cover it at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, good decision that time. You know, Eastwood had a tough game with Genoa last week, Norm. They came back in the fourth quarter, had a huge fourth down conversion that set up a big touchdown on the very next play. So this is a team that knows how to battle, and it's really, you mentioned, coming down to the NBC lead between the two of these teams, but it's shaping up. Rettig, the number one passer. Eastwood got two of the top rushers, and Snowden and Geyser tonight, and you're going to see them in this drive.
And this is a team that's thrown the ball 16 times total in 5 weeks. So first down handoff is Geyser, and he didn't get anything. Count the guys in the box tonight if you're watching at home. That may be where this game is won and lost, because until Eastwood finds a way to get guys out of the box and spread things out, they may find it tough running on the inside. For the Flyers, they got to play their assignments tonight. On second down, handoff is to Snowden. Snowden can't get around the corner.
Well, one thing Coach Emmons talked to me about before the game, Norm, was yards on first down and how huge that's going to play in this game. He said if we can't get them yards on first down, it could be a long night for us, but conversely, if we do good on first down, we'll do very well tonight. And the one thing he mentioned is their buck sweep. They run that to a T, and you'll see that a lot tonight.
3rd and 10 for Eastwood. Hudelbrink is split out wide to the left. And off on the inside, and that's Geyser. And there's not much there again, maybe a yard, and it's going to be fourth down. And the offensive line for Eastwood is just not getting any surge.
Especially right now, you look at the first couple of plays, Austin Hess up the middle of that time did a great job snuffing it out. You know, this is a defense that's only given up a maximum of 15 points in one game this year, and that was very early in the season for the Lake Flyers.
But you can watch where the contact is between the offensive line and the defensive line, and there was no surge whatsoever on this first series. Eagles to punt this away, and they will get it away. It's going to bounce at about the 36, and it'll take an Eastwood roll inside the 25 and all the way down to about the 19-yard line. And one of the things that concern, I'm sure, going into the game for Eastwood was not getting behind. It's a ground-type offense. It's not a quick strike offense. So there's a lot of pressure on the defense right now, I think, in this drive, Mike, right away.
Absolutely, you know, and Rettig, with all the talk about him, and deservedly so, leading the NBC in passing, 14 touchdowns. Brandon Shorts has 49 carries for 541 yards this year and 13 touchdowns. So you have to keep an eye on number 43 as well as number 5.
Rettig out of the shotgun on first down, throw 19. Lake with a 7-0 lead. Here comes the handoff around the end. Duncan tried to turn the corner and picked up 2 to the 21, but that's all.
Well, and you know Lake has circled this one on their schedule. Every game's important, as Coach Emmons said before the game, but they got shut out 21-0 by Eastwood last year. So this is one they've been preparing for and ready for.
2nd and 8. This is simply quarterback up the middle, across the 25 out near the 27-yard line. And we did Lake and Otsego, and that was a game where Rettig really didn't run very much, but they have changed that game plan here tonight.
He's doing a great job on the ground so far. And really up the middle, he's been able to gain yards through the hashes. So let's see if Eastwood's able to tighten that up as this drive goes on.
4 carries for 34 yards. Third and a long one. Reddick up the middle. That's a first down. Broken tackle to the outside. This is going to be a foot race one-on-one. 40 and knocked out of bounds.
Well, so far, Reddick's been showing what he can do with his legs. The leading rusher already, and after that one, well over 50 yards, already rushing on the ground in this game.
Well, he picked up 38 on that carry. So that's 5 carries, 72 yards on the ground for Jarek Reddick so far.
You know, and you mentioned what they did against Otsego, beat Woodmore 49-0 last week. Their opponents so far are 4-21, so this is definitely their toughest test yet in the Eagles.
First down at the Eastwood 39. Short with the carry. Left side and stacked up. This defense for Eastwood is not going to roll over. There's no question about that.
Well, and you look at who they've played. Their only loss so far was to Clyde, who I believe was number 11 in Division
very,
3.
very good. That's a very good team and a very good program.
Upended Central last year, and what was a big surprise for a lot of people in Division 3. So, you know, they've done a good job taking care of their business coming into this one tonight. And like I said, a big comeback win versus Genoa last week on their home turf.
I did that game for radio last year in the playoffs with Clyde and Central Catholic. One of the greatest games I ever saw in my life. Reddick back to throw. Under a little pressure. Rolls. Throws. Got a man inside the 10-yard line. Connor Bowen. Did he get in the end zone? Nope, down to the 1-yard line. You know, Reddick had plenty of room to run if he wanted to, but found Connor Bowen inside the 10.
Well, and that was a good move by Bowen. Kind of showing little flashes to his basketball game that time with a little stutter step around the 5-yard line to try to make the play and get into the end zone.
Just fantastic decision-making by Jared Reddick. First and goal at the 1. Reddick up the middle. Still no call. Now we get it. Touchdown.
Well, so far he's doing it all for him, Norm. The blocking's been pretty good up front, but you see his ability to escape a few of these rushes tonight, even the big one that he pulled off on that 38-yard run, having the wherewithal to break it to the outside after a missed tackle, and just really rolling out, taking what the defense gives him to set up this touchdown with the big pass to Connor Bowen.
Well, and Eastwood's got to be shell-shocked right now. Duncan for the extra point. It is up. And it is good. 3:11 to go first quarter. It's been all Lake so far. The Flyers 14, Eastwood nothing. We'll be back. Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
No longer just a luxury, but a vital service in most households, and your family deserves the best. Amplex Internet provides reliable and affordable service to rural and suburban locations throughout Northwest Ohio, including Bowling Green, Port Clinton, Genoa, Fremont, Oak Harbor, and many other communities. No phone or cable line needed, and there is no hidden fees or extra charges. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers choose Amplex Internet. Visit us at www.amplex.net.
I thought I would like to be on TV. I never thought it would end my career.
You can't always stop a thief, but a security DVR from TAS in your vehicle can help you capture them. Discreet, motion-activated, always vigilant. For as little as $149 installed, you get a real sense of security.
I almost got away with it.
TAS Electronics, it's hot.
3:11 to go first quarter. Toledo Sports Network, CW 13. Norm Waymer, Mike Bauman, and it's the Lake Flyers with a 14-0 lead over Eastwood and have scored touchdowns on the first 2 possessions of the game. Could not have drawn up a better start for the Flyers.
Well, and I think they've got Eagles on their heels right now because so far it's been Reddick's legs and not his arm that's been doing most of the damage.
They're going to squib this once again. It's going to be covered right about the same spot as the first one at the 30-yard line.
And, folks, we'd like to say thanks again for joining us here for another presentation of high school football on Toledo Sports Network. We also want to give a shout-out to our sponsors, IBEW Local 8, as well as UA Local 50, the pipe fitters and plumbers. And out here in Millbury, Pub 51 on Woodville Road, doing the live lake broadcasts on the radio you can listen to at ToledoSportsNetwork.com and the TuneIn radio app for Byron, the local high school guy, just like you, Normie, when you started out.
All right, 1st and 10 for Eastwood at their own 30-yard line, and they got to make something happen. On 1st down, little running room this time for the first time. Geyser across the 35 to the 36. And for the first time, we saw some surge by that Eastwood offensive line.
Well, I think after getting stopped basically for no gain the first couple of plays and getting nothing on 1st down, that's such a huge part of what they do with this running offense that they have. If you don't get that initial push, it's hard to come back on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down.
2nd and 4. Back to the inside to 1st down. Geyser cuts it back to the outside into Lake territory. And all the way down near the 40-yard line. Ball popped out, may have popped out late. Eastwood with it anyway.
Well, you got to give credit to Geyser. Great read that time on the run going up the middle. Got a nice seal block on the left edge of the offensive line to break it free. And that time trying to run over the defender, and the ball comes out, but his knee evidently was down.
A 24-yard gain and a 1st down.
So far, averaging 8.5 yards a carry, 2nd behind Mr. Short in rushing in the NBC.
Zach Thompson, the quarterback, and under center. And now we're going to get an Eastwood timeout. So we'll take it and be back. 2:14 to go first quarter. Lake 14, Eastwood nothing. And you're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
The Union Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and HVACR service mechanics of UA Local 50 build the powerhouses that generate your electricity. Install and service your heating and air conditioning systems, and install the plumbing systems that protect the health of this nation. Everywhere there's a building being built, retrofitted, or maintained, members of UA Local 50 are on the job with skills and the latest sustainable building practices. To do the job right, UA Local 50 Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and service mechanics, building America's future.
Pub 51 is just a great neighborhood bar and grill. They're about as close to being all things to all people as I've seen. They have a miniature bowling league, and they take that pretty darn seriously. Oh, and a dartball league, and a cornhole league, and a pool league. They have a lot of leagues. Pub 51 has a big outdoor patio, too. Well, their pizza and food are reasonably priced, too. Give Pub 51 a try. They're on Woodville Road, just a half-mile east of the Woodville Mall.
2:14 to go here in the first quarter. Lake 14, Eastwood nothing. Eastwood on their 2nd drive of the game. Went 3 and out on the first drive. Handoff, this is Geyser again. Down close to the 35.
Well, in that push that they weren't getting in the first drive, you're seeing him get it this drive now, especially on 1st and 2nd down, which is going to be huge in this game, especially with this offense that they run. They've been doing the wing tee for a number of years. It's a hard offense to defend. Genoa obviously has been very successful at the last 7 years, but the Eagles do a pretty darn good wing tee as well.
All starts up front. The offensive line is having a much better drive here. Quick hitter. 2 to the 33.
And they had only 194 yards, Norm, against Genoa last week total in the game, but 184 of those were on the ground, including a big 28-yard run by Geyser to give them what ended up being a game-winning touchdown in the 4th quarter.
3rd and 3 for the Eagles, and probably in 4-down territory. Geyser 1st down. That offensive line is starting to open some things up.
Well, and like you said, I think after the first couple of drives by Lake, they were a little shell-shocked and had a couple of good plays so far in this drive. They called the timeout, and, maybe that's Rutherford just to tell his guys, see, this is what we can do. Read your keys, stay on your blocks, and we can move the football.
And Eastwood's not going to get this all back at once by any means. This time, Snowden gets the call. This time Snowden with a first down. 16 yards down to the 11.
Well, Snowden not too shabby himself, 5th in rushing in the NBC, averaging 6.5 yards a carry, almost 500 already on the year. And he's sort of the yin to the yang to Geyser. You see his speediness and his shiftiness, not as big of a back, but he can block downfield, and you can see the quick feet he has once he hits a hole and has a little bit of space.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Snowden in motion, but Geyser gets the call. Geyser broke one tackle near the line of scrimmage and picked up a couple. And that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. 12 minutes in the books. We'll be back with 12 more. Second quarter coming up. It's Lake 14, Eastwood nothing, but the Eagles are on the march. And you're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
Do your utility bills have you down? Get out from under those heavy bills with new windows from Dunright Building Services. New windows from Dunright can change the vision of your home both inside and out. And right now, for a limited time only, you can get any white double-hung standard window for only $179 each. Remember, for a job done right, you better call Dunright.
New home, same address. It starts with new windows. Call us at Dunright Building Services today.
The Big Apple Deli has all the food for your next party or get-together. The best subs, salads, soups, pasta, party trays, and great lunch and dinner specials. The Big Apple Deli, 2118 Woodville Road, has got you ready for all your party needs, or just stop out for a great lunch.
Second quarter ready to go here at Lake High School. Toledo Sports Network, CW 13. 2nd and 6 at the 7-yard line. Geyser with the call on the inside. Looks like about 2 to the 5. It's going to set up a 3rd and 4.
Well, it's been night and day on this drive compared to the first one. You can see the push that the offensive line is getting. I don't know if it was just a little bit of the jitters, especially with Lake putting together that first touchdown drive. But boy, do they look like a completely different offense right now. Let's see if this defense can hold.
And we might be in 4-down territory, too. On 3rd down. Misdirection. But hit near the line of scrimmage, Drayton Williams on the tackle.
6'2", 210 junior coming in off the edge that time. Doing a great job reading the play.
Snowden got maybe a yard. And I think we're going to set up for a field goal. Lucas McCullough is the kicker. He is a junior. Out of the hold of Grant Geyser.
And this will only be his 4th attempt this year. He's had a long of 26. He's 2 for 3 so far this year.
Yep, and this is what from 21 yards. Good snap, got it down, plenty of leg, and it is good. So Eastwood gets on the board, 10:40 to go second quarter. And it's Lake 14, Eastwood 3. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
Hope you're enjoying the game today. Hi, I'm Mike Jamison, president of ToledoSportsNetwork.com. Now, Channel 13 and the wonderful people here are bringing some great games to you each and every week. And we'd love to make your company part of what we're putting together here. We've got the reach and we've got the ability to get you out at a reasonable cost so that all of these wonderful people can talk about your business, whether it's on the internet, on live television, or live internet. You can give us a call at 419-514-1302. Let us spotlight what you have here with all of our unbelievable packages that we have. And we make it very cost effective for even the smallest business. Creative Video Imagery and the Toledo Sports Network is proud to bring you this game right here on 13.2, the Live Well Network.
Back we are on the Toledo Sports Network, CW13. Norm Weber, Mike Bauman. 10:40 to go, second quarter. And it's Lake 14, Eastwood 3. On the one hand, it's good for Eastwood to get points on the board. The other hand, if you're Lake, you're happy you held them to 3. Kick going to be taken by Bowen at about the 1. 15-20, got a crease. Tripped up. Case Bowes, a freshman, may have saved a touchdown.
Well, Bowen got a great block on the left side from George West coming back, and it really opened up a big hole there temporarily. But you're seeing what makes this Lake offense so volatile is their playmakers all have that breakaway speed when you talk about Reddick, Short, and Connor Bowen. And then you've got guys like Walter and Greenlees who are very good catching the football, Walters and Greenlees.
All right, Short up the middle, picked up about 5. And that's Jacob Reddick, who is out there at quarterback. You got to see if we can find out what happened to Jared Reddick. Back to throw. Over the middle, got him in. Greenlease into Eastwood territory. 17-yard gain.
Well, Greenlees is a big target out there. 6'1", 188, does a great job. 11 receptions, 205 yards this year with 5 TDs. He's kind of that big fellow you have to watch out for over the middle and is a matchup issue for the defensive secondary on a weekly basis, and you saw it right there.
Jacob Reddick, the younger brother of Jarek, he's a sophomore. Into the game, throws, out of bounds, on the completion to Todd Walders.
Well, after the touchdown run, I did see him come over near the 50, Norm, and talk to a couple of trainers. They were looking at him. The very first game of the year against Northwood, he had like a lower leg injury, ended up playing out, and he's been playing throughout the whole year. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that, if it's lingering, but it looked like they were just talking over there. He did not appear to be injured, but obviously he is out right now.
I have not spotted him on the sidelines. 2nd and 6. And off. Into the secondary and gone. Goodbye, Brandon Short. 44 yards, touchdown Flyers.
Well, no Jared Reddick, no problem that time. You see the great blocking from Lake, how quickly they can change the tide of the game. 44 yards from Brandon Short, his 15th touchdown of the year. But give credit to Jacob Reddick coming in as a sophomore in a game where he probably really wasn't expected to be under center in the second quarter. Makes 2 really good throws and gets the offense clicking still.
Well, when you shoot linebackers and you bring guys up, you're gambling. And when you gamble and you shoot guys and you miss, things like that can happen. That extra point was partially blocked and still snuck its way over the crossbar. So with 9:10 to go, second quarter, it's Lake 21, Eastwood 3. We'll be back on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.
You've planned and planned. Each moment of your special day just has to be perfect. You don't want to worry about anything. Just know that you've hired professionals to make your wedding day special. Mike Jameson with Creative Video Imagery has produced award-winning weddings for over 15 years. Our company has the equipment and the artistic ability to capture your day on digital DVD, giving you lasting memories of a day you will cherish forever. Call Creative Video Imagery today or visit our website, Creative Video Imagery, making moments into lifetime memories.
Toledo Sports Network, CW13. Now Eastwood, with that running attack, has to dig out of an 18-point hole. Both teams are undefeated in the Northern Buckeye Conference. Eastwood knocked off Genoa last week 17-7. Winner of this game is in sole possession of first place in the NBC. For the Flyers, the game this week and next week are the two doors that they have yet to knock down. Next week, of course, Genoa. Another squib, well, more like an onside kick, but a squib kick. It's going to be covered at the 45-yard line, so Eastwood will get terrific field position.
Well, Lake putting the pressure on their defense right now after a pretty good methodic running drive from the Eagles on the last drive. But, you know, this is a defense, you look at what they've done this year. 15 points against Fremont St. Joe in week 1, then 7-6, 7-0 last week against Woodmore that they gave up.
First down for the Eagles. And back to throw and incomplete. First throw for Zach Thompson, and that was well short. He had plenty of time, and enough time to put a little air under it. On 2nd and 10, the handoff is Geyser. Geyser with about 4 to the 49. It's going to leave 3rd and 6.
You see Lake Rush in the middle linebacker that time up the middle, but the strength of Geyser able to read it, go to the right side, and still pick up decent yardage.
Lucas Lombardo has to come off.
And you hope that young fellow's okay because he's one of their strong players on defense this year. Had a pretty good last year, too.
3rd and 6. Double handoff up the middle of first down. Into the secondary. Inside the 30, near the 28-yard line, goes Eli Brown.
And Brown, no slouch himself, averaging 6.7 yards a carry this year. He's only gotten the ball 31 times because of that 1-2 punch with Snowden and Geyser. But you see right there the quick feet of the young fella up the middle of the defense.
The one thing you have against a quick defense, and Lake's defense is pretty quick, is the misdirection. And if you overplay that misdirection, you're going to leave holes open the other way. Geyser broke a tackle down to the 21-yard line.
Well, doing a good job sealing the edge that time was number 57, Caleb Tussing, allowing Geyser to cut the ball back in on the left side of the offensive line that time.
2nd and 4. And this is a situation, I think, where the Eagles need to get 6. And off Snowden. First down. Dragging tacklers inside the 10 down near the 8-yard line.
Well, he's deceptively strong, too, because he's 5'9", 148, so at first glance, you kind of just really place him as more of a speedster. But you've seen so far in this game, the way he runs the football, he's a tough downhill runner. And we've talked about it this year, Norm. When you have shorter guys like that with a lower center of gravity, it's hard to bring them down.
And he was carrying somebody on his back. 1st and goal at the 8. Geyser ran into a wall at the 5. He initially had a crease. Lombardo coming back into the game for Lake.
And that's a good sign if you're the Flyers because you need him to help stuff the run up the middle. And another thing to pay attention to tonight with the Eagles and what they do with this wing T, watch how their other running backs, when they don't get the ball, block. That is what is so key to the success, too, of what they do.
2nd and goal at the 5. Geyser got a hole. Touchdown.
And a perfect example that time, you see Snowden go up the middle, one of the guys leading the charge as one of the lead blockers at $148. That was a great drive for that young man, too. And once again, don't forget about Eli Brown. He's a guy that they'll throw in there. He's a fast kid, and like you said, Norm, if you're Eastwood, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. You needed to get in the end zone that time.
Absolutely. This gets them back in the ball game. McCullough for the extra point. And he got it. So with 6:24 to go in the second, we'll take a timeout. It's Lake 21, Eastwood 10. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13. Eastwood starting to get that ground game going. Now they got to get a stop out of their defense.
Exactly, and I like the composure they've shown so far. And once again, you saw it last week at the Comets, coming back late in that game. Not a lot of offense in that game, but they got it when they needed it.
Can't trade touchdown for touchdown. Got to boot it deep. Bowen at the 1. 15, 20, and stacked up.
And still no Jared Reddick, it looks like.
Nope. Going to be Jacob Reddick.
And if you're just joining us, we have not seen Jared Reddick since he punched in that 1-yarder, right?
Yes.
After that he punched in a 1-yarder for the second touchdown of the game. And since then, it's been his little brother Jacob who's taken over at the helm behind center.
Who's actually about 2 inches taller. Jacob Reddick back to throw, and look at this. He's going to air it out too long, incomplete. And there's no question he's got arm strength.
Pretty good basketball player, too. He's a 3-point specialist last year for the Flyers as a freshman on the varsity. Not a real big Flyers team on the basketball court, but Coach Bowen really utilized those guys in the right spots, and you see the younger arm that you'll be seeing a couple more years from here.
And a whistle, and it looks like we're going to get a timeout. Lake at 21-10 lead over Eastwood. Battle for first place in the Northern Buckeye Conference. Handoff, short, right side, breaking a tackle, and then finally taken out of bounds. A lot of running for 3 or 4 yards.
And Eastwood needed that stop that right there. They did not allow Brandon Short to get the edge of the field and turn upfield And after that big 44-yard touchdown run on the previous drive, that's what you need to inject a little confidence, especially against the run game against the Flyers.
And it'll be 3rd and 6. So we'll see what the sophomore Jacob Reddick can do on a 3rd down. And 3rd down conversions. They are huge. Greenlee's in motion to the right. Back to throw. Looks right, throws right. Got him at Bowen. 1st down. Out of bounds just short of midfield. Well, the offense hasn't missed a beat.
Well, and I like what I'm seeing from Jacob Reddick throwing the football with confidence. He had that one that he sailed earlier on this drive, but otherwise he's been pretty spot on.
3 of 4 for 42 yards is the sophomore Jacob Reddick. And he will run and get 2 to midfield.
Once again, want to say thank you to some of our sponsors. First Federal Bank, your area bank, and Amplex Internet. Quality internet service for this area. Call them today, 888-419-3635.
2nd and 8 for the Flyers at midfield. I'm sure they'd like to chew up some clock, too. 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Reddick throws, got a man. Todd Walters, complete 1st down to the 34-yard line.
Well, that time you had Grant Geyser going out in coverage, and I think it was number 4 also. Was it Jacob Reddick? Or excuse me, it was number 9, Drayton Williams on the outside there, and that left Walters wide open over the middle of the field.
More wideouts, Reddick to throw. Tipped and intercepted. Picked it off and down the sidelines goes Noah Smith. Oh, I'm sorry, that's actually number 6, Chris Orcutt on the interception. Well, that time Jacob Reddick got locked into one receiver because he had another man open over the middle.
Yeah, when the ball got tipped and the Lake sideline upset because he got a crackback block. And actually, I do see Jared Reddick over there on the sidelines now, Norm. He's got an ice pack on his right shoulder.
And that's the first turnover of the football game and a chance for Eastwood to cash in. Handoff Geyser. Broke a tackle. 1st down to the 37-yard line. And the Big Mo may have just switched sides. Momentum is huge in a game like this. And Eastwood can really put themselves back in the game if they can score before the half. This time Snowden. Snowden got drilled. That looked like number 36 to me. Austin Roos, the senior.
Just a great fundamentally sound tackle that time, getting his head on a swivel, hitting him at his waist. And that's pretty much how you got to take down the Eagles.
Well,
it's got to be belt or below.
Hey, he's a football player. He is just simply a football player. 2nd and 9. Geyser hit and down, got about a yard.
There he is again.
Austin Roos is just a football player. And he's a senior, 5'10", 157, but don't let that fool you.
Well, especially when you're talking about a running attack like this, whether it's the offensive line, the guys running the ball, the guys trying to get to the ball carrier, that's usually the lower man that wins that battle.
3rd and 8. And around Eli Brown to about the 33. Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the 28, I should say. He'll be just short of the first down.
Well, he juggled the exchange and a huge fourth down right here, especially with Jacob Reddick back on the sidelines. I think he was fired up after that hit on his brother.
Well, a minute 48 to go here in the second. A fourth and about 2. Movement up front, and that may have given Eastwood a first down.
Yep. One of the oldest ones in the book, the hard count. And Lake bites.
Only the second penalty of the game. But it gives Eastwood a first down with a minute 39 to go. And Eastwood still with 2 timeouts.
And that's a tough break because you had a couple of huge hits from Roos up the middle.
On a misdirection, Snowden up the middle, inside the 10-5 touchdown. 23-yard touchdown run by Devin Snowden, and Eastwood is right back in the middle of this game.
Well, and it was going to be a fourth and very short, even if they wouldn't have jumped, but still, if you're on the Flyers sideline, you don't want to go back knowing that you gave them a chance to do what they just did after the penalty.
Well, it was close to 2 to go on that. And we'll never know if they would have gotten the first down. McCullough for the extra point. High snap, got it down, kick is up, and it is good. Minute 25 to go in the half. Eastwood has pulled it within 4. It's Lake 21, Eastwood 17. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13. Minute 25 to go in the second. Lake's lead has been cut to 21-17 by Eastwood, and Eagles to kick off. And they will boot it deep again, and it will be Bowen again. 15, 20, 25, and out near the 28-yard line. The ball may have popped loose. Eastwood claims they got it, and they do. Second straight turnover by the Flyers in their second straight play.
And guess who that was who came up with the fumble recovery? Devin Snowden. Connor Bowen on a spin move that time did a great job making a few men miss, just trying to make the extra play. But they stood him up, and Snowden stripped the ball, it looked like. Or at least he was the one that came up with it. But a couple of big back-to-back plays for Snowden.
And we're going to get a timeout, I think. And we'll just keep it right here. With a minute 19 to go in the half. I was watching Jared Reddick on the sidelines with his shirt off, and they're working on his shoulder. They're testing out his range of motion.
And it had to have been on that touchdown run when he went up the middle, because he came out right after that play. So whether he fell awkwardly on it or was just a weird hit, but it was just a dive right up the middle. And he had been running the football well tonight, over 70 yards already in the game, and that was just in the first quarter. You know, Jacob came in, did a pretty good job, but on that interception, locked into one receiver, had the middle of the field, went with his first read. And Noah Smith comes up and makes a great play.
Jacob threw the interception and then the fumble on the kickoff return. So 2 straight turnovers on 2 straight offensive plays by the Flyers has given Eastwood a chance to take a lead into the locker room. This was a 21-3 game at one point. Double handoff. Eli Brown, first down, close to the 11-yard line. And Eastwood just picking up yardage in huge chunks.
They have looked like a completely different team after the first 2 touchdowns from Lake, where things looked like they could get out of hand. They've been running the football extremely well. Their running backs and their offensive linemen have been blocking incredibly.
Handoff Geyser to the 9. Well, maybe the 10. 2-yard gain. The clock is down to 43 seconds and counting. Eastwood still with 2 timeouts, and they're going to let this run down. Second and goal. Snowden, not much, 2 to the 8. Third and 6 at the 8-yard line. Geyser, well short of the first. He'll pick up 2 to the 6-yard line. And this has to be a field goal situation. We're going to let the clock run down. And call timeout with 3 seconds to go in the half. All right, field goal attempt of about 23 yards. It is from the left hash, so it's at quite a bit of an angle.
Well, that's where it's tricky. You got to be careful not to push it.
Good snap, got it down, kick up, and it is good. And that is going to end the half. One where the Lake Flyers had an 18-point lead at one point. Now their starting quarterback with a hurt right shoulder on the sidelines, and this 18-point lead has become 1. Lake 21, Eastwood 20. We'll be back for the third quarter coming up. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
No longer just a luxury, but a vital service in most households, and your family deserves the best. Amplex Internet provides reliable and affordable service to rural and suburban locations throughout Northwest Ohio, including Bowling Green, Port Clinton, Genoa, Fremont, Oak Harbor, and many other communities. No phone or cable line needed, and there is no hidden fees or extra charges. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers choose Amplex Internet. Visit us at www.amplex.net.
Back we are for the second half on the Toledo Sports Network, CW 13. Norm Waymer, Mike Bauman. 21-20, Lake with the lead over Eastwood. It was once a 21-3 lead. An 18-point lead has dwindled to 1. And I did not see Jarek Reddick warming up on the sidelines.
Yeah, I still have not seen him either. But give credit to the Eagles from bouncing back, a couple of turnovers. And if you're Lake, you got to take control of your home field here in the second half. Had a couple of nice drives early. Just got to regain Lady Mo.
Squib kick covered at the 45. That is not part of the game plan. They want to get that squib kick through the first line.
Yeah. Well, are you surprised they started off the second half doing that, given the way Eastwood's been moving the football?
Well, if they get it through the first line, then it's been down at about the 30-yard line. So that's why I say that hitting the first line is not part of the game plan. So Eastwood's now got good field position at their own 45. Snowden behind a blocker, close to midfield.
You talk about playmaking ability. He had back-to-back big ones in this one after that 23-yard run. Had another huge run to get in the end zone. Then coming up with the fumble recovery. Didn't see if he got the strip, but came up with the fumble recovery on Connor Bowen's kickoff return. Tough break for Bowen. He's had a great game, doing a great job catching the football. Young man just trying to make a play, and they stood him up. But Snowden has been unbelievable tonight.
2nd and 6. Geyser. First down, all the way to the 37-yard line of the Flyers, a 14-yard gain. And that puts Geyser at the 100-yard mark on 18 carries.
And, you know, the very first drive, it looked like it could potentially be a long night for Eastwood. Everybody talks about the Flyers' offense, but the most they gave up this year was 15 points against Fremont St. Joe in Week 1, coming off a shutout. But it's been a completely different Eastwood offense since that first series.
Geyser to the 30-yard line. And ever since they started going to the misdirections, that's really opened things up. The Flyers have had trouble playing their assignments and at times over pursuing, and them cutbacks will just kill you if you over pursue.
And I think one thing, too, about this Eagles offense that you're noticing tonight in the wing tee is how well the running backs do blocking.
2nd and 3. Handoff, Snowden. Could not get around the corner and will not get anything. Actually, he's going to lose a yard. Now it's 3rd and 4. Big down in this football game. Snowden in motion, but did not get the call. Eli Brown did, and he got racked at the line of scrimmage.
It looked like it was Andrew Abbey coming up on the stop that time. He's had a pretty solid game. Roos has had a couple of big hits tonight.
Now it's 4th and 4. Too far out for a field goal and too close to punt. Play action fake. Thompson round the corner, not going to get there. He was run down by number 21, Nick DeLauder.
Another upperclassman making a big play, and so far they've had a couple of big hits defensively. Huge stop that time. And when you mentioned the rivalry, Norm, it's been Lake Eastwood for the better part of the last several years, Eastwood Genoa. Lake gets shut out last year against Eastwood, so this was one that they had circled on the schedule this year, especially with the predictions.
Now, it's a big stop for the Flyers. It is still the sophomore backup quarterback, Jacob Reddick, in the game. Hit big at the line of scrimmage was Brandon Short. He never got back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard.
Speaking of upperclassmen making a play, Chris Orcutt that time flying in off the edge, coming up with the stop. And we've seen them try to throw a few different looks at Lake tonight. Primarily, this is a team that operates out of a 5-2 defensively.
Orcutt 6'1", 208. 2nd and 11. Low snap, ball on the turf, and Reddick will just cover it in a big loss.
Well, they've gambled a couple of times tonight, brought some pressure, but now with the sophomore quarterback in, having thrown that interception earlier in the game in the second quarter, you see Eastwood now really firing off the ball on the line of scrimmage and doing a great job at the point of attack up front.
Well, and this is defense feast on 3rd and 19s. 21-20, Lake with the lead. 3rd quarter. Reddick throws, incomplete. Timing was not there as Bowen was not looking.
Yeah, definitely a miscommunication on the route there. It looked like Eastwood was just in a cover 3, trying to keep the ball in front of him on a long 3rd down situation. And right now, the younger Reddick looking a little rattled. And I don't know if we'll see Jacob back in this one. He's over there on the sidelines in a sweatshirt. He's still got his pants on, but doesn't have his shoulder pads on.
Where's he at?
Talking to Connor Bowen right near the 30-yard line.
All right. We'll keep an eye. Line drive punt. Going to be taken by Geyser. Good coverage by the Flyers, but Eastwood once again will get pretty darn good field position.
And you know what? I'll tell you too. I know Jared Reddick is a senior.
Well, he took his pads off, so he's not coming back. He won't be back in the game.
This kid's a competitor, and if he could, he would be back. So that shoulder has got to be. It's got to be almost at a point where he probably can't even throw the football. I would guess tonight. I definitely don't want to assume, but knowing the kind of competitor that he is, he'd be out here if he could be.
On 1st down. Looks like Snowden will pick up 3. Well, the report I got was they were down there looking at the range of motion of his shoulder and kind of pressing on a spot, and Jarek Reddick was going, I can play.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if there's
he
a grimace,
wants to play. There's no question.
If there's a grimace that precedes the answer, it's usually a no-go.
On second down, Geyser close to a first down, going to be about a yard short at the 44.
And, we're seeing, similar to what we've seen in other games that we've covered this year, especially Findlay St. John's last week with the quick feet of Mogaloo. There's been times tonight where Lake has gotten pressure at the point of the attack and even into the backfield. But you see the quick feet and the strong legs of Snowden and Brown and Geyser tonight.
Well, get ready for a dogfight here in the second half. 3rd and a yard, up the middle, first down. Geyser, the ball carrier, picked up 3.
I want to say thanks again to IBEW Local 8 and UA Local 50 pipe fitters and plumbers. Also out here in Millbury, Pub 51 out on Woodville Road. If you pull your hair out every week like I do, playing fantasy football for some godforsaken reason, who knows why we do it when it just gives us ulcers and make our hair fall out. But that's a good place to go do that. Great food, great times at Pub 51.
Geyser now 21 carries, 116 yards. And gets the call again. Into the secondary again. Close to a first down again at the 31-yard line.
And this is something that Coach Emmons talked about, yards on first down, both for them and for Eastwood. He said straight up to me before the game, listen, if we can't hold them on first down, it could potentially be a long night. And that's because of this running attack and this buck sweep. And you mentioned, Norm, switching to the misdirection has Eastwood really since the second quarter, and it's kept this defense on their toes.
Well, I figured they were going to measure this because this looks awfully close.
Also would like to say thanks to TAS Electronics, First Federal Bank, your area bank, Dan R's Automotive out in Navarre, and also Amplex Internet, quality internet service for this area out here in Millbury. Give them a call any day at 888-419-3635. That's 888-419-3635.
Geyser with a first down. Did we forget to mention if you want a DJ?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mike Jameson and Creative Video Imagery. In all seriousness, folks, he's been a DJ and a video taper, videographer, I should say, for weddings for a very long time. 419-514-1302.
All right, Snowden, the ball carrier on first down. Close to the 26. And it's another 5-yard chunk on first down. And those 2nd and 9s and 3rd and 8s, Eastwood is not getting in those situations anymore. And it's now 2nd and 5. And I'm seeing some hands on hips from the Flyers, which usually means a little fatigue. Oh, a nice play. Hitting the backfield was Geyser. 55, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it looked like Lucas Lombardo. I tell you what, there's some seniors right now on defense. Lombardo, Hess, Andrew Abbey, and Austin Roos, namely, that are, there's not a ounce of quit in these guys right now. But as you said, they have to slow down Eastwood on first down, and it just hasn't happened yet.
3rd and 6. Handoff Snowden. Strung out well. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 4th down. No, these, Mike, these are 2 championship caliber football teams. That's what makes this game so fantastic. And you're going to get, this is going to be a game of big play after big play. That's going to decide this and who makes more of them. Face mask called on the Flyers. I believe it's the 5-yard variety. Loss of a yard on the run, but they'll pick up 5 on the penalty. 3rd penalty on the Flyers for a total of 15 yards. And it's going to make it
should be 4th and 1, right? Or did they replay
it
down?
I guess it's they're replaying it down. So it's not a tack-on situation. So what could have been a 4th and about 7 now turns into a 3rd and 1. First down. Geyser right off the left side. Picks up 5.
And, you know, that's the second time that's happened to Lake down in their own territory where they've had a big penalty. We saw the hard count in the second quarter on a 4th and 1, and they end up getting a touchdown on that drive. And as you just mentioned, 4th and decent chunk of yard situation now stripped away, and then it's another set of first downs for Eastwood.
Geyser juggled the football but hung on to it. And down near the 10-yard line, and another good gain on first down.
Happened a couple of times tonight. We saw that with Eli Brown running around the left side earlier in the second quarter where the the exchange was bobbled a little bit, and we saw it again right there with Geyser. But so far, they've been doing a great job of holding on to the football, and there's been 3 or 4 Lake Flyers on each tackle.
Eastwood has no turnovers and no penalties tonight. Handoff left side. Geyser down to the 1-yard line.
He's just running like a man possessed right now.
Well, and this offensive line for Eastwood has taken over this football game. Now it's 1st and goal inside the 1, and a chance for Eastwood to take their first lead of the night. Thompson fumbled the football. And I think the Flyers got it. Number 36 landed on it. Guess who? Austin Roos.
And you know, we were just talking about that a few times tonight. We've seen Eastwood bobble the exchange. We just saw it a couple of plays ago from Geyser. It happens again right there. And who else to capitalize but the senior and Roos?
First turnover tonight for Eastwood, and it is extremely costly. Well, now the Eastwood defense has got to take a hold here and to get their offense good field position back. Jacob Reddick out of the end zone. Lost it. Dropped it. Can he get out of the end zone? It appears he did. And he was that close to a safety, which would have given Eastwood the lead.
It's been a little bit of a fumble-rooski going on here since the second quarter from the exchanges and the snaps.
Well, the pressure and the tension of this football game is rising, and there's a lot on the line. Eastwood could take a stranglehold of the NBC with a win tonight. Reddick out of the end zone. Will get a couple out to the 3. Because if Eastwood wins this game tonight, they'll hold wins over Lake and Genoa, the other 2 teams that figured to be at the top of the league.
Well, and then if you're Lake or Genoa, you just got to hope that at some point Eastwood maybe trips up along the way. But the way they've been playing tonight, save for that fumble, they've executed very well.
All right, do we have a timeout or don't we have a timeout? They started walking off the field. Now they're all coming back. So apparently we do not have a timeout. And it's going to be third and about 8 for the Flyers. 3rd and 9, actually.
It was Andrew Abbey coming off with a cramp, it looks like.
So we'll see if the sophomore throws out of his own end zone. Yep, back to throw. Looks over the middle, incomplete. He's looking over the middle for Drayton Williams, a tight end, but he threw it too far.
Well, Noah Smith had that interception earlier, gets a hand on it that time. But you mentioned the pressure's turning up now. Certainly the biggest game of Jacob Reddick's career thus far. Coming in for his brother, and it doesn't help when you're deep in your own territory, faced at your own goal line.
This is one of the biggest games for everybody that's out there. Now, the Flyers will have to punt out of their own end zone. And that's Jacob Reddick, and he gets it away. A wobbly kick, going to bounce to the 35, take a big Lake roll. All the way out across midfield to about the 49-yard line. That ends up being a 48-yard punt for Reddick with no return, and that is the most you could have hoped for. So now Eastwood will go back to work, 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Lake with the lead, 21-20, a minute 29 to go in the third. Snowden in motion. Geyser the call. Geyser 3 to the Lake 48-yard line. 28 carries, 148 yards tonight for Geyser.
Well, downhill runner, and you mentioned just the way these guys are firing off on their blocks up front. You really have to have an athletic offensive line to run this wing T.
Double handoff and a fumble. And it's covered by Snowden.
And the exchange issues continue tonight. I mean, that's probably the 4th or 5th time now we've seen a bobble on the exchange with the Eastwood Eagles. Just cost them possibly a touchdown on the previous drive.
A loss of 6 on the play is going to make it 3rd and 13. And this is maybe where the Flyers defense could go to work. Thompson has attempted 1 pass all night. Eastwood just 17 on the season. Second man, Snowden. Snowden will not get the first down. Only a gain of 3. It'll be 4th down. And that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. 36 in the book. 12 more minutes to go. It's Lake 21, Eastwood 20. And we'll be back. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network at CW 13.
On the job for you for over 100 years. You need a career. You need a future. Local 8 can help you make it happen. Join the men and women who build our community. Become a part of a proud tradition. Build your career. Build your future with the brothers and sisters of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 8. We're on the job for you.
We're on the job for you. We're the local IBEW.
The Union Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and HVACR service mechanics of UA Local 50 build the powerhouses that generate your electricity. Install and service your heating and air conditioning systems, and install the plumbing systems that protect the health of this nation. Everywhere there's a building being built, retrofitted, or maintained, members of UA Local 50 are on the job with skills and the latest sustainable building practices. To do the job right, UA Local 50 Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and service mechanics, building America's future.
Eastwood to punt this away on 4th down. Fair catch being called by Adam Duncan back inside his own 20. But the Flyers have survived here in the second half with Eastwood a 1st and goal at the Lake 1-yard line. And after the turnover, now and a couple of punts, Lake gets the ball on their own 16.
Well, and it's been something that's been happening with the exchanges with the Eastwood Eagles. I mean, we've seen them execute the first 2 quarters of this game. There was 1 or 2 in the second quarter, and then we saw a couple of Geyser on that drive, and finally the straw eventually broke the camel's back, and Lake came up with the turnover. So let's see if they can make something happen here.
Jacob Reddick, the sophomore backup quarterback out of the shotgun. Going to keep it himself. 20 and out near the 24-yard line.
Well, that was something that his older brother was doing exceptionally well to start this football game. They did not have an answer for him on the run. Over 70 yards in the first quarter, had the rushing touchdown, had a great throw to Connor Bowen. I mean, decision-making tonight, Jared Reddick was on point. So obviously a tough blow, but his brother is weathering the storm right now.
2nd and 2. There's nothing the Flyers would like more than a long, methodical drive. Short on the carry, and about a yard. Looks like he'll be short of the first down. No pun intended.
Well, Andrew Abbey did a good job of staying on his guy and opening up the hole. There was just no lead block there, nowhere to go for Brandon Short, so give credit to the Eastwood Eagles for making an adjustment because he had a huge one earlier this game where he ran right up the middle just like that.
Well, this is going to be hat on hat, 3rd and a yard. Reddick will hand it off to Short and a first down. 35 broke a tackle, trying to get it to the outside and upended near the 38-yard line. We've seen that happen more than once tonight where Eastwood has sold out to try to stop the run, and once you break that initial contain, you're already in the secondary.
Absolutely. And that's not a guy you want to give that kind of space because you saw the 44-yard run earlier in the game. The previous play, they were right on top of it. But he's one of those guys that'll run you over if you don't wrap up properly.
79 yards for Short. Reddick back to throw. Looking, tipped at the line, incomplete. Since that interception that Jacob Reddick threw in the second quarter, he has not looked confident.
Well, once again, this is, like you said, it's a big game for everybody, but wins and losses fall on quarterbacks and coaches, and to be a sophomore, it takes a lot of courage to step in there.
2nd and 10. Short broke a tackle, ran into 2 more, and down near the 40-yard line. But when Jacob Reddick initially came off the bench, he looked very confident. He hit 4 of his first 5. Since that interception, he's 0 for 3.
Well, and mentally, too, I'm sure he was upset with himself after that happened because he appeared to stay on his first read the entire time across the field, and that allowed the DBs to read his eyes.
And now you're in a 3rd and 8 situation. 4 wideouts. Reddick back to throw, looks, throws, complete. Walters, first down, into Eastwood territory to the 41.
Well, if ever there were a throw you needed to get your confidence back, it was right there. Todd Walters goes about 6'2", 6'3", coming across the middle, has pretty good hands, and he throws it in a place where he can get it ahead of the defender. That's just a great throw that time from the young fella.
Slant patterns are so hard to defend. But if you're not accurate, it can lead to a pick. Quick out, incomplete, went over the head of Walters. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Reddick out of the gun again. Will keep it himself. Almost lost it and may have momentarily, but landed on it. Near the 38-yard line. Let's see, they'll mark it short of the 38. We'll call it the 39. And it'll be 3rd and 8 once again.
Well, this is what you want right here if you're the Eagles. But once again, with the respect that they have to give to Short, that's opened up the passing game a little bit, especially deep over the middle of the field. So keep an eye on Drayton Williams here out of the slot.
3rd and 8. Walters in motion. Reddick to throw. Tipped, picked off. And this might be a foot race. Brennan Seifert down the sidelines all the way. Touchdown, Eastwood.
And we got a flag on the play right around the 26. But that time, Jacob throwing across his body all the way across the field. And it was up for grabs.
And it might have been tipped when he threw it.
Brennan Seifert on the interception.
It looks like it will negate the touchdown, but not the interception.
And boy, that's tough. We were talking about how well the Eagles are executing. They have a fumble that negated what probably could have been a touchdown at the Flyers' 1-yard line. And now you have a flag on a huge interception that brings you all the way back to the 36 on a pick six to give you a lead.
Well,
two very bad
and it's
plays.
a silly penalty because it wasn't anywhere near where Seifert was at, and that block was not going to determine whether he scored or not. You just got to be smarter than that. At the Lake 36, handoffs Geyser.
Boy, it looked like he had a lot of room on that left side when he cut back in from up here. But that young fella's been running hard tonight. But you got to give credit to this Lake defense, especially these seniors who have stepped up and made some big plays here in the second half. But Eastwood giving them a little daylight here with the penalty and the turnover.
Second and 7. Snowden to the 30.
And those quick hitters so far here in the second half have not been there the way they were in the second half. So give credit to the Flyers coaching staff for tightening things up. And another third and decent chunk of yardage situation for the Eagles, who had been moving the ball exceptionally well on first and second down.
3rd and 4. Can the Flyer defense come up big one more time? You may be in 4-down territory. Seifert, or Geyser, sorry, short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about a yard. Geyser now with 30 carries and 154 yards. That is the definition of a workhorse. 5'11", 169 senior. Here we go, 4th and a long yard. Close to a yard and a half. We're going to get timeout. We'll take time and come back. 6:34 to go in the game. It's Lake 21, Eastwood 20. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
And this could be a passing situation here.
Snowden in motion. Geyser with the call and a first down.
And just as I say that, they give it to Geyser again, but they open things up just when you least expect it, but they opt to go with the man who's been doing it all tonight with Geyser, been a workhorse on the ground. But that was a situation where I thought Eastwood might try to go for the pass, Norm, and catch Lake sleeping and stack the box. It was a 9-yard pass last week on a 4th and 5 that set up their game-winning touchdown.
Handoff Geyser. They're going to keep pounding this. Down close to the 15-yard line. They'll mark it at the 16, a gain of 4. I don't know. They've only thrown one pass tonight, 17 on the season. And the one they threw tonight was kind of ugly. 2nd and 6 from the 16. 5:40 to go in the game. Geyser again, but hit near the line.
Nick DeLauder again. Not the biggest guy either, 5'8", 196. He's another one of those guys that's playing bigger than his size. We've seen that with a couple of defenses this year. Finley last week, not very big as they have been in the past, but just fast and getting helmets to the ball. Nothing fancy.
Well, you're getting in field goal range here. On a 3rd and 6. And off Geyser up the middle. Big hole. First down inside the 10 near the 5-yard line.
And the play started to flood left, it looked like. I think Lake got caught up just for a split second. You had Brown, and you also had Snowden go to the left, and it's just a quick hit to Geyser up the middle, and they were able to freeze the defense just enough to get on their blocks and open up that hole for Geyser.
1st and goal at the 4. Geyser again to the 3. 4:37 and counting to go in the game. And Eastwood does not have to be in any hurry at all. Last time they were this close, they had a 1st and goal at the 1 and fumbled. A field goal would give them the lead. Second and goal at the 3. Geyser again hit at the line of scrimmage. One of the first ones in was Colin Lloyd. Second effort may have gotten him to the 2. And it did. 36 carries, 180 yards for Grant Geyser.
Well, when you look at this offensive line, too, of Tussing, Fertig, Freese, and Heckman, the tallest one is Fertig at 6'2", and the biggest guy goes 267. So, I mean, they're not real tall, but they just get off the blocks.
We're going to get a timeout here. We'll take one as well. 3:29 to go in the game. Lake 21, Eastwood 20. Don't go away. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW 13.
It's going to number 4.
You would have to guess that's who got it, and that's who got stacked up at the line. The one who stacked it up, guess again, Austin Roos.
36 has been everywhere tonight.
Now on 4th down, it looks like the field goal unit is coming out. We're down to 3 minutes to go in the game. This would be about an 18-yard field goal at a big angle from the left to give Eastwood the lead, which would be their first of the night. Good snap, got it down, kick is up. And it is good, and there's a flag down. We may have roughing the kicker.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what the call is going to be.
Running into the kicker is the call. Now, if that's not roughing the kicker and just running into the kicker, I don't believe that's a first down. That would just make it 4th and goal inside the 1.
And I think that's what Rutherford's out there discussing, just that, Norm.
If that's the case, you got to take the lead. Oh, see, now they're calling it personal foul.
Roughing the kicker.
Well, see, they did not call it a personal foul at first. Now they called it a personal foul, which makes it an automatic first down inside the 1-yard line. That was not the initial call or the initial signal of the call.
The initial signal was running into the kicker, correct?
Absolutely.
And another tough blow for Lake.
So they take the points off the board. It goes back to 21-20 Lake, and it's 1st and goal at the 1 for Eastwood. That's always a dangerous thing when you take points off the board and take the lead off the board. 1st and goal at the 1. Geyser, touchdown. Taking the points off the board pays off for Eastwood as they get their very first lead of the night with 2:38 to go in the game.
And by my count, that's 23 unanswered.
Grant Geyser's 38th carry of the game and his second touchdown run. And now, obviously, Eastwood will go for 2. Being a 5-point game.
And each team has made a handful of mistakes tonight. Lake jumping on the hard count. The personal foul there, which initially was running into the kicker, obviously wasn't the case. And then the penalty to make it 3rd and short as opposed to 4th and 6. But Eastwood overcoming a couple of turnovers and scoring 23 answered in this one. Now, obviously, Jared Reddick being out really hurts, but you got to give credit to the way these guys have executed tonight, and they took care of the football on that possession. We didn't see those exchange issues that started to plague them in the second and the third quarter.
Eastwood takes her final timeout before the two-point conversion attempt.
We want to say thanks again to some of our awesome sponsors. First Federal Bank, your area bank, as well as Dan R's Automotive out on Navarre Avenue. If you're in that part of town, make sure you get your car ready for the winter. According to the Farmer's Almanac, it's going to stink, folks. So let's just keep that in mind when you hear those creaks in your car.
On the two-point conversion into the end zone, Eli Brown, and that'll make it 28-21 Eastwood.
Good play call, too. They had been going geyser, hat on hat, up the middle, blood and guts, meat and potatoes football, and that time they hit him with the misdirection again to get the two-point conversion.
All right, we'll take time and come back. Lake with one drive to tie it. 2:38 to go. Eastwood 28, Lake 21. You're watching the Toledo Sports Network at CW13.
You've planned and planned. Each moment of your special day just has to be perfect. You don't want to worry about anything. Just know that you've hired professionals to make your wedding day special. Mike Jameson with Creative Video Imagery has produced award-winning weddings for over 15 years. Our company has the equipment and the artistic ability to capture your day on digital DVD, giving you lasting memories of a day you will cherish forever. Call Creative Video Imagery today or visit our website, Creative Video Imagery, making moments into lifetime memories.
I always thought I wanted to be on TV. I didn't think it would end my career.
You can't always stop a thief, but a security DVR from TAS in your vehicle can help you capture them. Discreet, motion-activated, always vigilant. For as little as $149 installed, you get a real sense of security.
I almost got away with it.
TAS Electronics, it's hot.
Bowen will get another shot at it. 15, 20, cut it up, 25-30, and out close to the 36-yard line. Jared Reddick hurt early in this game in the second quarter after scoring a 1-yard touchdown run, or while scoring a 1-yard touchdown run, which gave Lake a 21-3 lead.
And who would have thought it'd be his younger brother that's trying to be the hero now down by 7, but that's the situation he's faced with.
2:32 to go. Jacob Reddick back to throw, avoids the rush. On the run, throws incomplete. And hit pretty late. And the Lake sideline cannot believe there was not a flag thrown.
And the boo bugs come flying. But I will say that's the second time tonight where we saw contact early in the game inside the 5 on a long throw from Jared Reddick. That looked like surely it was going to be pass interference. No call. And that time a little bit of a late hit.
Well, you hate to see a game turn on a penalty, but if you stayed up late Thursday night, you saw that happen in the Arizona-Oregon game. Reddick to throw. Under pressure. Throws it away, incomplete.
And there's been a few occasions tonight where Chris Orcutt has been able to get free off the edge and either try to force Reddick to make a throw that he didn't like or chase him out of the pocket. And he does it again right there.
And it's 3rd and 10. The battle for the lead in the Northern Buckeye Conference. If Eastwood hangs on, they would put a stranglehold on the conference lead. 3rd and 10 for the Flyers. Reddick to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, throws, tipped, incomplete. Almost picked off, or was it? Nope, incomplete. And it's going to be 4th and 10. I go back to that first interception that Reddick threw, and before that, he was 4 of 5. Since then, 1 for 9 with an interception. And now has to make something happen on 4th and 10.
Well, you know, and you got a long way to go. Haven't seen any attempts to Braden Short yet on this drive. Obviously a passing situation here. But keep an eye on number 6 for Eastwood coming off the edge.
Here comes the pressure. The throw. Tipped, picked off. Intercepted by Hootelbrink. Which actually lost Eastwood some yardage. But they'll get the ball back with 2:03 to go. Lake has all 3 timeouts. So despite the pick, Eastwood would still have to get a first down and run the clock out.
And that time it was off the fingertips of, it looked like, Todd Walters, the intended receiver. Did have to reach up for it, had some fingers on it. But once again, just a simple tip drill play for Eastwood. But stranger things have happened in this game, Norm. We saw Eastwood fumble it when it looked like they were going to go in earlier to take their first lead at the 1-yard line.
But
So
can the Lake defense stop Eastwood at this point?
Had some big hits tonight.
Geyser, very close to a first down. And I'm not sure that they can stop him at this point. That was his 39th carry of the night.
Young fella's eating his Wheaties for sure. And that's what's impressive about their backfield this season. You look at Snowden sub 150, Geyser sub 170, and the way they're running the football like they're 220.
Geyser again, short of the first, or so it appears.
And we also want to say thanks again to our good sponsors, Amplex Internet, quality internet service for this area. Give them a call at 888-419-3635. Also want to give a shout out again to Dr. Todd Leslie, a great friend at Toledo Sports Network. For Grace Speaks, his daughter has a rare disease where she cannot communicate verbally. Don't forget about that. There's going to be alumni Red Wings game Saturday, November 1st at 3 p.m. at the Cube in Findlay. So you can check out more information at grace-speaks.org. And we're also out at Maumee Bay State Park on Saturday morning for our radio show, The 3 for All, 106.5 The Ticket, in support of Grace Speaks as well.
That's for everybody on the internet, because obviously as you're watching this on TV, it would have been earlier this morning.
Exactly. But grace-speaks.org, still got time.
3rd and a yard, and the Flyers have to hold or this game's going to be over. Geyser looks like he got the first down. And he did. They're moving the sticks, a gain of 2. Flyers take their second timeout. They still have 1 remaining, but there's not much hope left now.
Well, and it's tough. I mean, you obviously want to see a game like this, and it's been one heck of a football game. One of the best we've had this year so far. But obviously you'd want to see both teams at full strength down the stretch. Tough not being able to have Jared Reddick, especially the way he was playing in the first quarter of this game, clicking on all cylinders. Had, I believe, over 100 yards of total offense in the first quarter between running and throwing. And he gets hurt, and that did change the complexion of this game a bit. But Lake has had their chances. A couple of balls off some fingertips, a fumble, and it turns the tide a little bit.
Well, and you can't say enough, too, about how Eastwood's offensive line has taken over this football game.
Absolutely. I mean, from the second drive on, they looked like a completely different team. And like I said, you look at those guys up front with Caleb Tussing, Jason Fertig, Lucas Fries, and Jack Heckman. I mean, 5'10", 179, 5'7", 246, 6'2", 198, and 5'10", 267. So you've got two guys who are 260+, but your biggest guy is 6'2", and they're firing off the football.
Fumble! Fumble, and who got it?
Lake has it.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness, holy Toledo.
And who came up with it?
Austin Roos. You had to know it was going to be Austin Roos. And I'm not sure he was the first one to land on it. I'm stunned. I am absolutely stunned. And there's a number of people that were leaving that may want to come back.
It's been one of those nights.
Oh, you just never know. 1:14 and one timeout for the Flyers. Reddick, under pressure, avoids the rush. Now he throws on the run. And is it complete or is it picked off? What do we got?
No, that's
It's
a catch.
complete.
A catch from Walters. Holy shnikes. Things just got interesting, folks.
I kind of got screened there a little bit. It's a 12-yard gain. Clock starts once again. We're down to a minute. Reddick got time. Incomplete. Could not find anybody open.
Or was that, they called that a catch again? Walters got it again.
Well, I'm going to have to get the binoculars out here a little bit because from where we're sitting, we're getting a pretty good shine from the lights off the turf. Time to get the old binoculars out here. 2nd and a yard. Reddick throws, incomplete. Behind the intended receiver, Greenlee's that time.
And, you wonder at some point, Norm, I mean, obviously you got to score and you got to score but quick, but if you try to get Brandon Short on a little bubble screen with the blocking they've gotten downfield in the run game, I might think about trying to get it to number 43 in the flats.
3rd and a yard. There's the bubble screen to Bowen. First down, 35-30 and down to the 26-yard line. Well, you called the bubble screen, but it's Bowen. A 17-yard gain. Clock stops at 43 seconds to go, and now it starts. Reddick will stop the clock at 41.
Because they continue to hit that short side of the field, and obviously, naturally, that's where Jacob Reddick is rolling out to, being a right-hander.
They have not run that play in a long time tonight.
Yeah. And Bowen has got to be either close or over 100 yards receiving now, but he's caught just about everything that's been thrown his way. And he's got second-level speed.
4 catches, 85 yards for Bowen. 2nd and 10, 41 seconds to go in the game. Reddick to throw. Got time this time. Double clutch, threw it, tipped, and almost picked off. Boy, you just can't double clutch. It's just nothing good happens when you double clutch.
And I'm a fan of the short passes because you've got enough of the legs, at least in a second down situation like that. I mean, obviously it's always easier when you're the armchair quarterback in the booth, but you see the wheels of Bowen and what we've seen from Brandon Short tonight. I just love trying to get those guys the ball in the flats if you're Lake.
37 seconds left. Reddick to throw on 3rd down. Looking for the corner of the end zone. To Walters in double coverage. A flag flies. It's picked off.
Yeah, but
it's going to be interference on Eastwood. That's a pretty easy call.
Yeah. Clear shoving, 2 guys right there. It was thrown into double coverage. but definite contact on the play.
And it stops the clock with 32 seconds to go in the game. It's a pretty easy call.
Just not a smart play. Not a smart play if you're the Eagles. And they've covered pretty well in the secondary, especially getting a couple of picks tonight. Doing a great job of the tip drill. I mean, that's just fundamental football. They practice that.
When you get the throw up early enough, it makes it difficult for the defensive back to find the football. And that was the case there. So if this is half the distance, it should be at 13. We'll see where they set it down. Well, they set it at the 12. All right, they're going to take 3 seconds off the clock, which is kind of interesting.
And call me crazy, but you still got a chance now to run it, in my opinion, with Brandon Short on a quick header.
You still got a timeout left. You do. But you got to guard against a sack. Reddick will roll out. Steps up, throws, tipped. Incomplete. Boy, dangerous throw. Lot of traffic.
And just as you said, you still got a timeout. You don't have to make that throw there. You try to extend it with your legs, or you throw it away and save a little time. But you do not have to make that throw with 23 seconds.
Well, he can tuck it and run too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the ability to do that. 2nd and 10 of the 12. Eastwood the lead, 28-21. Reddick gonna lob it to Walters for the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Oh, just beyond his fingertips.
Yeah, it looked like it went right through his hands. Had to turn around to make the catch. I mean, but the placement was about as good as it gets right there.
Where's the bubble screen again?
That's what I'm saying. The way Brandon Short's run the football tonight.
Well, Bowen's going to line up wide to the right. So that's not going to happen here. Walters wide to the left. Reddick on 3rd down to throw. Going to go for Walters again. Tipped incomplete. Good defensive play by Hoodelbrink, the defensive back, to tip it away. He's 6'1". Walters 6'2". So they got height on height. And now it's 4th down. And Lake will call their final timeout to discuss it. You don't have to get a first down. You could get a first down at the 2. But now, being 4th down, it shortens your playbook.
Well, and you're talking about a sophomore quarterback, too, that is probably looking for that first read most of the time in terms of his progression. So that's why my thinking is you just had the big play with Connor Bowen on the bubble screen. You've got Brandon Short back there. Maybe try to do a catch and release, a late release with Brandon Short just over the middle. And then you have to keep that defense honest because they're anticipating a lot of these throws back there and just dropping back in coverage.
I would be surprised, though, if the ball goes to Brandon Short.
Oh, at this point I would too. I just think that there could have been once or twice now where they could have got him involved in the screen game as opposed to going deep.
You're looking for Bowen, Walters, or Greenlees. Greenlees to the right, Walters, Bowen wide to the right, and Walters to the left on 4th down. Reddick to throw. Under pressure. Throws into the end zone, got Walters, touchdown! When Reddick started to run toward the line of scrimmage, the defensive backs bit on the run, leaving Walters all by himself into the corner of the end zone, and we're an extra point away from possible overtime.
Holy shnikes. And that time, shades of Jared making him respect with the legs. It gets rid of the football, freezes the defense to get him open in the end zone.
Extra point to come. Now or they go for 2 and try to win it. They're going to try and win it. They're going to try and win it. No extra point for the tie. This is win or lose. They were trying, the official thought there was a delay of game, but the play clock never started. The Flyers will go for 2 in the win. Bowen to the left, Walters in the slot to the right. Handoff, short. Not going to make it. Number 73, Tyler McCrory, is the one that grabbed him in the backfield.
Well, we've seen teams do this in big games before. We saw it at Ohio State, Michigan last year.
What a huge play by McCrory.
But just, a huge stop. Hindsight's always going to be 20/20 in this situation, but you know what? You just had a sophomore quarterback lead you on a drive all the way down the field and get the touchdown. You had the momentum. You had the confidence. Shorts run the football well tonight. And he took the chance. He took the chance to go for broke and win the football game.
When you do, you at least have your destiny in your own hands. But it was the Eastwood defense that came up with one more play. Now you're going to get an obvious onside kick with 7 seconds to go in the game. Your best hope is to recover the onside kick and get a Hail Mary. Can the Flyers pull one more rabbit out of the hat? We thought this game was done when Eastwood had the ball with about 1:15 to go.
It's going to have to be some magic rabbit with 7 seconds left, but stranger things have happened in this one.
Duncan with the onside kick to come. Walters and Bowen are the 2 ones on this end. Greenlees is the 4th one in, and Austin Roos is over there too. It kicked up. Who got it? Now, I wasn't sure whether a Lake Flyer was the first one to touch it before 10 yards, but it looks like Eastwood got it.
Yep, Noah Smith came up with the football, had the big interception earlier tonight. But you know what? Edmonds and company on their home field, they opt to go for the win. Sophomore quarterback leads a great drive. Defense comes up big with a couple of turnovers. And like you said, at least if you go for 2, you're putting it in your own hands. And that's exactly what they opted to do.
But it is a play that's going to be discussed.
Yes, it will.
For a long time.
Yes, it will. And you're going to get people who are on 2 very opposite sides of that coin.
They did say the Flyers touched it at the 43. So even if Lake would have landed on it, they would not have gotten the football. So one kneel down by Zach Thompson, and this one's over. And there it is. So the Eastwood Eagles down 18 in this game. Come back for a 28-27 win as they hang on. Jared Reddick, the star quarterback for the Lake Flyers, went out in the second quarter, did not return. Would that have made the ultimate difference in the game? We'll never know.
We'll never know, and you know what? The things that each coach talked about in this game ended up ringing true. Coach Rutherford saying before the game, our defense has to come up and make big plays. They do that, get multiple interceptions. And conversely, Coach Emmons flat out told me, listen, if we can't hold them on first down, we're going to have trouble tonight. And you saw when Geyser and Snowden and Brown got into a rhythm and that offensive line got into a rhythm, Norm, they picked up huge yards on first down consistently up until about the end of the football game. But each team battled back, and give credit to Jacob Reddick making the touchdown throw at the end, bouncing back from the interception. This is going to go huge for him in the next couple of years here after his brother leaves. And like you said, Emmons and company, he opted to have the fate in his hands. You can't fault a man for doing that on his home field, but it's going to be discussed. It will surely be discussed.
For a long time.
But give credit to the Eastwood Eagles. They made more plays tonight, and they deserve to win the football game.
Grant Geyser, 42 carries for 190 yards for Eastwood tonight, including a couple of touchdowns. All right, we'll wrap this one up. Big thanks to all our sponsors tonight. Big thanks to the crew as well, Mike Jameson, Tammy Roos, and more, with having our games here on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13. And without the sponsors, without you guys, we could not do this. So we'll wrap this one up. For Mike Bauman, I'm Norm Waymer. It's a crushing defeat for the Lake Flyers, but it's Eastwood who puts a stranglehold on the Northern Buckeye Conference. Eastwood 28, Lake 27, that's your final. You've been watching the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.